So welcome once again to Encouraging Literacy at Home. I wanted to share with you that you have the option of turning on closed captioning for the duration of the presentation. So on your Google Meet screen in front of you, you will find three dots. You can click on those three dots and then activate the closed captioning option. Just be sure to choose English, as that is the language that I will be using English during this whole presentation this evening. Okay, so let's get started. So we will begin with the prayer and the territory acknowledgement, both of which will be said in French. Like I said, this presentation, however, will be all in English. Okay, so au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit, Amen. Seigneur Jésus, en tant que parents, nous devons faire face à différents défis tout au long de la vie de nos enfants. Prions pour les mères, prions pour les pères et tous ceux qui guident ces enfants, afin que Dieu les aide et les accompagne dans cette si belle mission qui leur a été confiée. Amen. Au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit. Amen. Nous tenons à reconnaître l'histoire du territoire traditionnel sur lequel le Conseil scolaire catholique Providence dessert ses élèves. C'est avec respect que nous reconnaissons qu'à l'arrivée des Européens, les peuples autochtones étaient déjà sur ces terres. Nous voulons reconnaître les personnes qui utilisent ces terres depuis des millénaires ainsi que leurs descendants. Okay, so let's get started with the information this evening. So according to the National Center for Improving Literacy, participating in literacy activities at home helps develop your child's reading, comprehension, and language skills. These fun activities can also improve your child's motivation to read, attitude towards reading, and concentration. So this quote sums up exactly why we wanted to share with you some activities you can do with your children at home to support their literacy development. You'll notice that the activities are short and fun. Your children won't even notice that they are developing their literacy skills. So did you know that reading takes many forms, all of which play an important role in the development of children's literacy skills? So actually, the development of reading skills occurs gradually in children and in a variety of situations. Reading is not just picking up a book or a novel and reading it. Reading can take many forms, and in the next few slides, I will show you some of these examples. So yes, all of these examples are reading. So when your child picks up their picture book and starts telling a story based on the illustrations or the pictures in the book, they are in fact working on developing their reading skills, their literacy skills altogether. When your child points out that they know that the M in McDonald's means McDonald's, or Ritz on a box, or Cheerios, or maybe it's stop on a stop sign, or the Zehrs when they pass by the supermarket. All of those actions, like reading the ideograms and words found in their environment, all are part of their reading. It's all helping them develop those different literacy skills. And if we look on the top corner here, using illustrations and pictures to help read a word. So this, oftentimes we hear that sometimes parents are hiding pictures and not allowing their son or daughter to use the pictures to help them read or understand a word, when actually it is one of our approved and taught explicitly reading strategies. So using the pictures and illustrations is in fact a great strategy for your child to be using to help them along with their reading. So if you see them using those pictures to understand or to read a new word, congratulate them, because they are in fact using an excellent strategy. So these next three examples, again, these are all our examples of different situations where a child is putting their reading skills and their literacy skills into practice. So reading a variety of text. So like I said, it doesn't have to be a book or a novel. It could be just simply following directions in a Lego box to build a little structure. It could be following steps to build a house in Minecraft. There's also playing with letters and words. So for the younger ones who are just in their early stages of learning, even picking up those plastic letters or wooden letters at Dollarama or Dollar Tree, and having them manipulate those letters and spelling out their name, their friends' names, all of those are contributing to the development of their reading skills. And reading the weather forecasts. Once again, it's not your typical sitting down with a book, but when they're reading the weather, they're also putting into practice their reading skills. Okay, so how can you support your child's literacy development at home? So we have 4 key ways that will help guide you along that process, and we're going to go through them each individually. So the first one being listen. So listen to your child read out loud. So whether it is a book that you have at home, it could be in your own, like your native language, your first language, or it could be the book that's coming home from school. And if you're not familiar with, if you're unable to help your child with reading in French, there is a service, Eureka, which offers free tutoring. And they will actually, you can connect with them and they will actually sit and listen to your child read out loud. So if you would like more information on Eureka's program, you can actually you can actually head to the school board's website and click on the webinars that are offered there. And there's a recording for Eureka, and you can follow that, and then you can learn a little bit more about what this service offers. And the second one, read out loud to your child. So this is so important and plays a key role in their development of their reading and literacy skills. So when they are listening to you read, you are actually modeling a fluent, you're being a fluent reader. You're helping them build their vocabulary. You're also allowing them to use their comprehension skills to really understand the story that's happening. And they're actually learning a lot just from listening to you read. And the last one here for listen is take note of which sounds, letters, words, or ideas seem difficult for your child. So then when you're actually in a different context, in a different situation, or maybe you'll be playing one of these activities that'll show you a little bit further in the presentation. But if you know that your child has difficulty with certain words or sounds, we'll use that information and then guide your child and help them along to better understand those words or use those sounds more appropriately when they're reading. Okay, so then the second key way is to observe. So observe to determine which activities or types of text engage and motivate your child. So here we're really looking at what is motivating your child to learn to read, what is keeping their interest. And observe your child's body language while reading. If there could be an off day when your child is just really not interested, and it's really okay to put it aside for a day, and then maybe the next day they're going to regain their energy and their interest. And we always want to keep in mind that we're trying to develop and maintain their motivation to read and to learn to read. So instead of forcing them into an activity which they really are not interested in, we actually could be creating a negative outlook on reading, and we might actually be we're doing the opposite. Instead of motivating them, we're unmotivating them. Okay, so we really just need to pay attention and look at their behaviors and look at their body language and kind of respond to that. And then here, the last one for observe is observe your child's reading behaviors. So are they picking up that book? Are they holding it the right way? Are they reading from left to right? Are they turning the pages? Are they following? Some children need to follow with their finger underneath the words to be able to read each syllable in a word. All of those, if you're noticing that they're developing appropriately, that's fantastic. But if you notice, oh, they're having a little bit of trouble here with this reading behavior, you can actually model that during those times that you are reading with your child. Okay, so the third key way is support. So engage in conversation with your child every day. So this simple act of having a conversation with your children on a daily basis, it's actually helping them to develop their listening skills and their speaking skills. So they're actually learning to wait and take their turn. They're learning not to interrupt. They're learning to respect the person that is talking, and they're actually, with your help, they're understanding that it is important to look at the person when they're talking and to really pay attention to their body language and their facial expressions. And then the next one here is read together every day. So this message, I've repeated it a few times already, and I'm going to repeat it a little bit more later on, but the simple act of reading together every day, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes long. It could be very short-lived. It could be a little bit longer depending on what you have going on. But as long as you get a little bit of time to read together every day, all of this is going to support their development. And lastly, here for number 3, support, is give your child a chance to make self-corrections. Okay, so this ability to self-correct is very important, and it is a skill and an ability that they do need to learn how to do. Not all children, obviously, in the early stages are able to do this. They're not able to say, oh, did that sound right? Does this sentence make sense? The way I said it, the way I read it. So if needed, you can actually give them a little hint to help them along. You can question them. Really try and avoid interrupting and giving them the answer right away. Just really kind of take a step back and give them a little bit of time to come to the realization that they did, in fact, oh, okay, you know what, I made a mistake there, or this isn't making any sense right now, so I have to go back and read to get a better understanding. Okay, and the fourth key way to support your child at home is encourage. So talk with your child about their reading, give them positive feedback, and reassure them when they're having difficulty. So they are in the early stages of their reading development and their literacy skills. So there are going to be some obstacles. There are going to be some moments of frustration, but reassure them. Okay, and then you can guide them along with a little bit of questioning. So if maybe they're stuck on a word, or maybe they're stuck on a sentence, or they're not comprehending what they're reading, you can just take a little moment and guide them along with some questioning. So what strategy do you think you could use here? Like, can we use the pictures to help us read the word? Can we use the pictures to help us understand this new word? So as long as we just reassure them and we be patient, because oftentimes we just as parents, we just want to get through the homework, we want to get through the reading. But if we just kind of slow down and take a moment, that's really going to benefit them in the long run. So the second element here, point, is encourage your child to read every day. So again, it doesn't have to be this long and long process. You don't have to have like this 30 minutes, 40 minutes of reading time. That's great if you can afford that. If they love it, let them do that. But sometimes they just want a few minutes, and a few minutes, even that is going to benefit rather than zero time of reading. And lastly here, be a role model. Read and write in front of your child and show them how reading and writing relate to daily activities, such as writing a grocery list or maybe writing a message or a text to grandma, grandpa, an aunt, or an uncle, or even planning a vacation. All those different things, it is important for the children to see how reading and writing really are intertwined in all of our daily activities. Okay, so here are just a few examples of some fun literacy activities. So if for songs and nursery rhymes, these are great activities to help and they benefit the development of reading skills and literacy skills in general. So if your family, if you guys allow YouTube, Mini TFO has some great playlists. Their songs are very short. They use common words. And the more your child listens to these songs or the nursery rhymes, the more apt they will be to use those words in their daily conversations. Okay, pause this. And again, like I said, nursery rhymes. So this one again is YouTube, Les Comptines du Zoo. But if you're not comfortable with YouTube, that is fine. There's also Spotify, there's Amazon Music, there's other ways to expose your children to songs and nursery rhymes. So the activity of storytelling, it is a great opportunity for your children, for your child to develop their literacy skills. Then there's play word games. So you can play Scrabble or Boggle. Again, you can have those little magnetic letters or wood letters. Take the time to play with those and make it fun. And here we have listen to audiobooks. So Radio Canada actually has a website where they have many books for children, and you can actually click on these books here, and depending on the book that that suits your child, whatever interests them the most. There's Augustine, and they're read in French. So again, if you don't have the French language, if it's not your first language, you can play these, and then at least your child is having even just a few minutes to hear the French language. So there's also, I wanted to show you here some Robert Munch books, which are fantastic, and the children just love those types of books. Okay, and then we have build background knowledge. So in those previous examples that I was giving you, was saying to take the time to actually have those conversations with your children. Those moments actually allow your child to build their background knowledge. So the more conversation you guys have and the more information you give them, the more they are able, when they're reading, they're going to make those connections with, oh, I remember when mom was telling me about this such and such. Okay, so making connections is actually a very important skill and ability that we teach them in the classroom. But for you guys at home, those building background knowledge is really going to benefit them in general with their literacy skills. And then here, the last one is talk about everyday experiences and show pictures. Again, so that's kind of linked with build background knowledge. So all of those kind of intertwine together. Okay, so we're just going to review some key points. So reading with your child helps them to learn new vocabulary. It helps them to develop their listening skills, hear what reading sounds like, and it allows them to develop thinking and problem-solving skills. And the most important overall, it allows them to enjoy reading and learning. And the next point I really wanted to underline once again is developing and maintaining the motivation to read. So for this really to happen, the children need to appreciate the pleasures of reading. They really need to view reading as a social act to be shared with others. They need to see reading as an opportunity to explore their interest. and for them to read for a variety of purposes, from enjoyment to gathering information, or maybe it's a different purpose altogether. And lastly, for them, the children need to become comfortable with a variety of different written forms and genres. And lastly, oral communication is the foundation of literacy. So take the time to play with your child and talk to them in French and listen to them practice the language. If French is not your first language, it is a good idea to provide opportunities for your child to play, talk, and hear others speak French. And again, so everyone learns at their own pace. And really, all your child needs is time, practice, and support. So here, I'm just going to stop the recording.